if you can see that they are literally scanning up and down.
Holy smokes.
Venturing into the woods alone at night can be terrifying. But what happens when you encounter someone or something you'd rather never meet? Tonight, we're diving into the 6 most disturbing camping encounters ever recorded. These clips will make you think twice about ever stepping into the woods alone again. Let's delve straight into this first disturbing encounter. Meet Nikki, the creator behind the YouTube channel Nikki TV. Through her videos, she takes viewers on immersive car camping journeys in her Toyota 4Runner, sharing both the beauty and challenges of solo outdoor adventures. With her authentic storytelling style and practical approach, Nikki keeps her audience engaged with real wilderness experiences. But on her first camping trip of 2025, she would come to understand just how unpredictable and unsettling these adventures could truly become. On January 31st, 2025, Nikki arrived at a remote campground, ready to embark on her first camping adventure of the year after recovering from pneumonia. Armed with nothing but her camera and camping gear, she was eager to document whatever experiences the overnight stay had to offer.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Nikki and this is Nikki TV. As you can see from the mess behind me, I just came home from work a couple hours ago and just threw everything in the back of the 4Runner, took out the bed platform, threw in a tent and a chair and some things, and we're hitting the road.
The video began with Nikki explaining her recent illness and how eager she was to get back outdoors after being confined indoors throughout January. As she spoke, her excitement for the journey ahead was evident, setting the stage for what would soon become an unsettling experience.
Well, we made it to camp, so let's get set up.
Arriving at her campsite, Nikki immediately began setting up, unaware of the disruption that would later unfold. With methodical precision, she arranged her gear, her movements showing the practiced routine of someone who had done this many times before. However, at the beginning of the video, she notices something and points it out to the viewers. She asks to remember that there were 2 picnic tables side by side, and later they would contribute to a spooky night.
You know, it never ceases to amaze me whenever I go camping in the winter. I'm expecting to really not see many people, but when I get to my spot, I'm like in shock at how many people's winter camping.
As she continued setting up her tent, something caught her eye. Despite anticipating solitude while winter camping, she was surprised by the number of other campers around. It never ceased to amaze her. Whenever she went camping in the winter, she expected to see hardly anyone. She was unaware that this unexpected crowd would soon become a major concern. With careful attention to detail, Nikki continued preparing her sleeping area, placing multiple layers of padding to insulate against the cold ground. Once her sleeping quarters were arranged, she surveyed her campsite with satisfaction, completely unaware of the disturbance that was about to unfold. Just a few minutes into setting up her camp, Nikki was approached by another camper who struck up a conversation. They talked about various gadgets, but despite speaking with just one person, she couldn't shake the unsettling feeling of relying on someone else.
I won't bother you at all, but I do start my bed every once in a while. Like, I didn't set up my tent because it's pretty wet, obviously.
Yeah.
So if I bother you, just let me know.
You're fine, because if I get too cold, I'm hopping my butt right in the back of that 4Runner.
Okay.
And if you hear me talking, I promise I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to a GoPro.
Well, I talk to myself.
Well, I mean, I'm basically talking to myself. I still want you to think.
Just as long as you know, if you hear me out, especially if I got my headphones on,
Yeah. No, you're totally fine.
For the rest of the afternoon, she busied herself with cooking a meal and putting the final touches on her campsite.
Electricity here or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If we were counting on it.
A group of people with a bunch of teenage boys just started setting up.
As the afternoon progressed, the peaceful atmosphere was shattered by the arrival of a group of people with a bunch of teenage boys who began setting up camp uncomfortably close to Nikki's site. What happened next sent a jolt of unease through her. They claimed they had booked both her site and the one beside it.
I'll tell you what, people are just rude anymore. I had to take everything out of my tent and put it back into the 4Runner because these men showed up with 4 different vehicles.
The men approached her, insisting there had been some misunderstanding with the booking system. But with the ranger station closed, there was no way to verify their claims.
First, they told me that they had booked this site and the site beside of me, and that there must have been some misunderstanding, but the problem is that the office is now closed. So I looked at him and I was like, well, you know, I've already been here for a couple hours. My name's on the post. Because they put little tags on the post at each campsite, and they put the dates that you're going to be arriving and the date that you're going to be leaving. So my name is on the tag that's on the campsite post, and it says that I'll be coming in today and leaving tomorrow. So, you know, I looked at him and said, well, I booked this site. It was available. The website allowed me to book the site. If the site was taken, it would have shown me that it was unavailable and it wouldn't allowed me to get the site.
Despite the evidence Nikki had been showing, the situation only grew more uncomfortable. Since there were 4 cars and 3 men who brought their sons and grandsons, who were extremely loud, her voice betrayed her growing concern about the situation. The most unsettling part wasn't just their presence. It was their decision to set up 20 feet away from Nikki's tent. This deliberate proximity sent alarm bells ringing for Nikki, who quickly realized she needed to adjust her plans for her own safety. And so she left her tent outside and put everything back into the back of the 4Runner, so stayed back there for the night. The night passed smoothly as she stayed within her car, but the morning brought new challenges.
Good morning. We woke up to rain, which I knew there was going to be a chance of. So looks like we're going to be packing up in the rain, which is okay. I didn't bring my raincoat or my poncho, but it'll be okay.
And she woke up to a heavy rain in that area. Next morning, after packing up her tent, Nikki ventured out for a hike on the icy trails near her campsite, seemingly trying to salvage some enjoyment from the trip, despite the previous night's disturbance.
I'm just gonna go for a hike and then come back and have my coffee and breakfast right here instead of stopping at a rest stop. I kind of feel like that would be a better option than having to stop somewhere else when I'm already here. And as you can see, there's nobody here. Maybe 1 or 2 cars. And I left my walking sticks in the 4Runner. Just slide right off of there into the water. I hope not.
Although Nikki made it through the night safely, one unsettling question remained. What were the true intentions of these men? Was it merely a booking error, or was there something more concerning behind their insistence on staying so close to a solo female camper? The truth behind that encounter will forever remain a mystery. While supernatural encounters might be frightening, it's often other humans who pose the real danger in remote locations. You never truly know someone's intentions or what they might be capable of. Thankfully, Nikki's quick thinking and decision to retreat to her vehicle ensure her safety through the night. The next video tells an almost similar story of spending a night in a hauntingly mysterious location. Quick interruption. If you're enjoying this video, why not hit that subscribe button? We're on a mission to hit 150,000 subscribers, and when we do, 3 lucky fans will win a free item of their choice from our merch store. Right now, 73.6% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. It's completely free, and your support helps us make even more awesome videos. So, don't miss out. Subscribe, and let's get back to the video. Meet Dan, the adventurer behind the YouTube channel Sort of Interesting. He's known for his outdoor escapades, pushing his limits in the wild. But on this night, in the heart of some secluded woodland, he was seeking solitude, a test of his resilience against the elements and the quiet darkness of nature. Little did he know, this quest for peace would soon morph into a nerve-wracking ordeal. The video opens with Dan stepping into the woods as night descends on the 21st of February 2025, rain already falling, a heavy pack on his shoulders.
It's rained already today, everything's soaking on the ground. It's forecast 50% chance of rain for every hour until 9 AM tomorrow. My shoes are literally falling apart around my feet, and I couldn't set out until after it had got dark. This sounds like the recipe of a fantastic first ever solo wild camp. I'm Dan Brown, and let's just go and enjoy some nice peaceful calm time in the hills.
From the start, the atmosphere feels unsettling. Darkness looms, broken only by the rain and Dan's steady footsteps. He searches for a place to cook, unaware that his solitude is about to be disturbed.
And also the fact I'm using much dimmer lights is starting to make me think I'm sure I can hear stuff and see little flashes and that. I'm sure I can't, but I can't be sure in here where I need to be. So yeah, quick backpack rest. Dim lights only now. I was just shining the torch round on full beam, showing like the woods to the camera. Some car somewhere on a road up there stopped, and I swear a torch shone into the trees, obviously from well above my head, but it's just spooked me a bit.
Oh man, my heart is going. I swear the car that I just mentioned pulled up and somebody's got out. I don't know if it's just coincidence. I'm trying to tell myself that, but I am really, oh my goodness me. I know. This isn't fun, this. I am so stupid. I am the stupidest person I don't know if you can see that they are literally scanning up and down.
As Dan looks for a spot to cook, he realizes he's not alone. Headlights flash through the trees, a car where there shouldn't be one. Then, a torch beam cuts through the darkness, someone watching from the shadows. A deep fear grips him, the unsettling sense of being seen, singled out. His peaceful solo camp has turned into a tense game of unseen eyes and growing paranoia.
I don't know what to do. I'm literally crouched. I'm sat on the ground. Right, the camera off.
The car incident leaves Dan on edge, his senses sharp and alert. The unsettling feeling of being watched grows stronger, and the darkness around him seems to conceal more than just trees. As he ventures deeper into the forest, far from the distant glow of car headlights, he searches for the perfect place to cook. Finally, he finds an ideal spot to prepare a quick meal and regain his composure. But distant sounds punctuate the night, each one a potential threat, keeping him wired, alert, the peace of the meal shattered by the surrounding anxiety.
There's no way, given that this is the mist and the fog conditions, there's no way I'm going to make it to where I wanted to pitch up.
The video then cuts to a scene where Dan showcases the misty, fog-covered surroundings. As if the unseen watchers weren't enough, nature itself turns against him. A thick fog rolls in, shrouding the forest in an eerie veil. What was once just an inconvenience now feels like a growing threat, adding another layer of danger and deepening Dan's isolation. Hence, he decides to change a previous decision he had made.
With very changeable and worsening weather conditions and my inability to calm my mind fully, especially after hearing the quad bikes, that did give me a slight concern that somebody could come up there on the hilltop with ease and see me lit up like an easy target all alone on a stormy hilltop. And so, yeah, I thought, if this isn't going to be fun, I don't want to just be lying awake in fear on my own on a hilltop for 7 hours. And, like you say, just a little bit too much of a public place.
This was the moment Dan decided to pack up and begin his hike back to the car, prompted by the changing weather conditions. He concludes the video by recounting how terrified he felt upon hearing distant noises, footsteps, and voices coming and going. Certain that he couldn't spend the night alone, he knew he had made the right choice to leave.
I've got probably 6 to 7 miles to walk back. What's happened in the last sort of 20 minutes, I've heard voices, thought I heard quad bikes or dirt bikes, something like that. Heard a shout. I thought perhaps I didn't hear the shout at first, but I've just been hearing a car alarm go off in the distance, and I'm just wondering if there is any mischief afoot, because I saw a thing on Facebook about there being some trouble going around the area. And if people are parked up on the back lanes and stuff, I don't...
Afterward, Dan thinks about his failed trip. It wasn't the weather or the hard journey that made him leave. It was the feeling of something unseen, something hiding in the shadows. He learns from the experience the importance of moving quietly and leaving fewer traces in the wild. But most of all, he realizes the biggest lesson: knowing when to trust his instincts, especially when the forest seems to be warning him to leave. The wilderness can be unpredictable, and sometimes the most terrifying encounters are not with creatures of the night, but with the unsettling feeling of the unknown. Now, let's continue with the next unsettling video. On September 20th, 2016, the YouTube account IkePlays2655 uploaded a new video. Known for showcasing jungle adventures, dense forests, thrilling explorations, and unique experiences, this upload was different. It captured an encounter unlike anything the channel had ever shared before, something completely unfamiliar and unexpected.
Oh my gosh.
Should we scream back at her?
They titled the video, "Ghostly Scream in Pluckley Woods." Throughout the clip, a single sharp, loud, and unusual sound echoed from the forest, standing out against the silence. The sound was so intense that it felt as if someone were screaming right beside you. The experience was deeply unnerving, leaving a lingering sense of unease. To this day, the origin of those eerie noises remains unknown. Perhaps a mystery best left untouched. Wait until you see the next eerie video. Meet Waroom, who runs the TikTok account MotoWens. On this account, he shares a variety of content from the adventures he goes on, offering a mix of fun videos, adventures, and lighthearted moments. However, in March 2023, Waroom posted something quite unusual, an experience unlike anything he had ever encountered before. It was a moment that felt entirely new and left a lasting impression on him.
You turn around and you never get to see what's on the other side. That's where all the gold is waiting over there.
He captioned the video with the keywords of help and skinwalker, as he was sure that by the end of the video, it had to be a Wendigo or a skinwalker causing all the noises. In the opening seconds, he showed himself carrying his bike through the woods on his way towards a destination. That's when something unexpected happened.
Hello?
A loud, sharp, and eerie sound shattered the stillness of the day, something unlike the typical calls of animals, like a fox or a wolf. Ash couldn't quite place what it was, but it felt as though something was lurking nearby. And then, just as quickly, the situation took a dramatic turn. The moment he said, "Hello," Movement stirred in the woods nearby, and the noise grew so loud and intense that Warum was instantly overwhelmed with panic. It felt as if whatever was out there was dangerously close. Gripped by fear, she quickly picked up her pace, desperate to escape the heart of the forest and find a safer place. The video abruptly cuts off at that moment, just as she speeds up, trying to flee the unsettling situation as fast as possible. In the video's description, Warum suggested that the sound might have come from a Wendigo, a creature from folklore said to be a person transformed into a monstrous being after consuming human flesh. The very thought sent chills down Warum's spine, especially since he was completely alone at the time, with only his bike. The entire experience felt eerie and deeply unsettling. To this day, the source of those strange sounds remains unknown. Perhaps some mysteries are best left unsolved. If this already gave you chills, brace yourself for the next spine-chilling video. Meet Bear, the creator behind the YouTube channel Adventure Fam. Through his videos, he shares spooky, crazy, and scary adventures, often exploring the unexplained in outdoor locations. With his enthusiastic and personal storytelling style, Bear invites viewers along for the ride. But on this particular night, he and his friends, Doug and Dave, would come to understand just how unsettling and emotionally charged these adventures could truly become. On the night of February 18th, 2025, Bear arrived at a remote wooded location, ready to investigate reports of highly aggressive Bigfoot clans. Armed with his camera, and later joined by Doug and Dave, he was eager to document whatever phenomena the location might hold.
Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. For tonight's adventure, I got Doug from Fear Fanatics with me. I also got Dave. We'll just call you just Dave.
Just Dave.
We also got Dave with us.
The video begins with Bear recounting a previous live stream at the same location where he experienced a huge crash sound and was overcome by sudden sickness and intense emotions. This unsettling prior experience set a tense stage for the night's investigation.
Rip, roaring, ready to go. Yeah, I'm super happy you fellas are with me. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have been able to have a video if you wouldn't have came. Not a care in the world. I forget, I don't think this goes back in too far, but it does go back a bit. Or maybe it does. I can't remember now.
Oh yeah, because these branches are like falling.
Not only that, but there could be something running around up there. You might catch it. Or maybe someone watching your video, man, might find something crazy that you never thought was there.
They embarked on their adventure, wandering into the woods and venturing deeper with each step. As they journeyed further into the heart of the forest, Bear suddenly noticed something.
I think I just saw eyes over there a second ago. So that's the that is the whole thing about this place, is aggressive Bigfoot clans, apparently. We haven't even done a call yet. You want to do the first call, or you want me to?
He spots eyes in the darkness, and he immediately mentions the location's reputation for aggressive Bigfoot clans, highlighting the potential for a frightening encounter.
Oh.
What?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, though. Was that like a... What do you call that? Fireman? What? How's that happen?
What?
That was like a tiny little... What would you call that thing? You didn't hear that? Did you... We might be able to find a cool structure. I thought I seen some kind... What?
My feet are all muddy and wet.
Oh, what was that? Bird or bat? Oh.
What was it?
It just flew down. Right behind you, too. I feel like it was on the ground there. Did it fly down and land right behind you? Something just flew out of that tree.
Throughout their walk, they were surrounded by unexplained sounds, unidentifiable noises, clicks, bird or bat sounds, and something flying out of a tree. These strange sounds add to the growing sense of mystery and unease.
Oh, what is, hold on. I smell gas. Yeah, coyotes. A herd of coyotes.
Is that a bunch of coyotes?
I think so. Hey. Ooh. Did you hear that?
Did you hear something?
Was that clicking? Did you hear clicking?
I thought it was you. Yeah, I heard that.
No, that wasn't me. That was coming from the forest.
As they moved forward, the sounds grew louder. Nearby, coyotes howl, and a strange clicking echoed through the trees. It felt as if something was watching them from the shadows.
There's a cliff here. Is that a cliff?
I wanted to put my tent here just so. Did you camp all night? No.
Oh, that's cool. That's a river.
That's where I wanted to take you to, but not this way. We got to go around this way.
Oh.
As they ventured deeper, Bear spotted a cliff and cautiously approached it, a sense of unease creeping in. With the night already filled with tension, he couldn't help but wonder what else could possibly go wrong in such a perilous place.
I'm curious to see if any of you guys... Well, just pay attention to like your heads and bellies too. See if anything weird happens. I gotta say, I'm not being hit like I was earlier. Oh. That looks so cool down in there.
Buried under smoke while it's in there.
Is that eyeballs? Where's the camera? Oh. Is that any? Oh. Did you see some?
I see like a tree in the back.
Did you? That's a good sign. Whoa, that's some big rocks to trip over. Tree shaking. Tree shaking, huh?
It was on the other side of the gully.
You got to see it though?
Oh, come back this way. Back that way a little bit.
This way?
Right there, yeah.
Bear hesitates, then voices a strange sense of unease, asking if his companions feel anything physically. Moments later, he mentions seeing eyeballs lurking in the darkness. But the night takes an even darker turn when something truly terrifying makes its presence known.
Wow, look at this face. Look at this face morphing in the middle of my screen right now. It's gone. It was doing it. Wow. I know you guys were seeing what I was seeing. There's no way my eyes was doing that. That was eyes, nose, the mouth. It was moving and everything. It's gone. Oh my goodness.
Something even more disturbing. Bear claims to see a face forming in the bark. Eyes, nose, and mouth emerge, shifting before his eyes. A chill runs through him and his viewers, a creeping sense of being watched.
Whoa. Ooh, what just fell down me? Something just fell down my shirt. Was that a spider? Is there a big freaking spider inside my shirt right now?
The sense of unease grows as strange events continue. Something slips down Bear's shirt. Sudden cries of alarm break the silence. A mushroom is dismissed as insignificant. and Bear claims he hears nothing, perhaps contradicting the sounds from before. He shakes off the unease and continues trailing with his friends deeper into the woods. However, as deep he'd move, the more spooky the night got.
Oh my goodness. They were waiting for me. I keep stopping now. I see him now, though. I'm closing the gap.
With every step, he felt increasingly strange, yet he pushed forward without pause, determined to keep up with his friends.
This looks like it goes further into the woods. This is the fucking Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
And I remember coming down, but I don't remember jumping a creek or nothing. Did we miss a trail?
I didn't notice it either. I was following your
We need to
lead.
go that way. When do you think we should have gone up when it split that one time? I don't think so. No. But if we keep going this way, then we just got to go to the left, right? I don't know what like that is. I don't know what that is. That's the building at the end of the road.
At this point, they reached a fork in the path, unsure of which direction to take. Instead of arguing further, they turned to Google Maps for guidance, ensuring they stayed on the right path rather than getting lost in the woods, and hence they began walking once again. However, before long, they finally reached their destination and emerged from the Eerie woods.
We came up way too far though, because we were supposed to come out way back there.
Wait a minute, did we do this once already?
We did.
I just had deja vu, man.
We did. The cars are over there. Yeah, no, we gotta go down this road.
We just popped it out at the same spot twice. Holy smokes. There's a growl right there, too. I wasn't ready for that. That was a lot of coyotes. Whoop! What is that? There was like a bang. That was sort of like a knock. Listen. House, that was Woots. Whoop! Did you guys hear that on camera? That was a hollering, man. A couple times. I had the camera going that time. I hope you heard it.
As Bear continues alone after his friends leave, the strange noises grow louder. Growls, coyote howls, unknown sounds, a knocking noise, a scream or whoop, and repeated "what" sounds. The sound of a key and distant hollers add to the eerie atmosphere. He asks if the hollering was caught on camera, hoping it was recorded, as well as he mentions that these same sounds have been heard before, but only when the camera wasn't recording, making it even more mysterious. Feeling overwhelmed and freaked out again, Bear quickly ends his adventure and decides to rest. Though Bear and his friends made it out of the woods, one chilling question remains. What was the source of the growls, the hollers, the face in the trees, and the overwhelming feeling of unease? Was it the aggressive Bigfoot clans rumored to inhabit the area, or something else entirely? The truth behind that emotionally charged and frightening night remains a mystery. Supernatural or unexplained encounters can be frightening, and this adventure certainly left Jared shaken. While the source of the disturbances remains unclear, the video serves as a chilling reminder of the power of the unknown and the unsettling atmosphere of venturing into the woods at night. Were these 5 encounters unsettling? If so, get ready for what's coming next, 'cause this one for sure will leave you scared. Meet Ahmad, the creator behind the YouTube channel Eerie. Through his videos, he takes viewers on immersive journeys into remote forests around the world, uncovering hidden spiritual locations and unexplained phenomena. From dense woodlands to sacred ground, his explorations reveal the haunting beauty of these mysterious places. With his unique storytelling style, Ahmad keeps his audience captivated, but one day he would come to understand just how unpredictable and unsettling these adventures could truly become. On an overcast evening, Ahmad arrived at a remote forest location, ready to embark on another solo adventure. Armed with nothing but his camera, he was eager to document whatever mysteries the site had to offer.
Oke teman-teman, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to Eerie. Jadi ini aku udah berada dalam hutan teman-teman. Kondisinya gerimis, agak hujan gitu dari tadi, dan ya kondisinya kayak gini. Gue sendirian di sini dan
The video began with Ahmad explaining that he was already inside the forest as a light drizzle fell. And as he spoke, the eeriness of the forest slowly unfolded, setting the stage for the unsettling journey ahead. He started by showing the environment around him, lots of trees, shady areas, and bushes. The setting immediately established a sense of isolation and vulnerability.
di sini gue pengen pasang tenda di sini teman-teman. Ini gue takutnya hujan makin lebat teman-teman. Ini juga udah sore banget, udah sekitar jam 6 lewat teman-teman. Gue bakalan nebas dulu pasang tenda teman-teman. Oke, let's go.
Ahmad found a perfect spot to plant his camp for the day, and he began clearing out the dense area by chopping the plants and laying down his camp. He explained the reason behind his camping trip, a local incident where a young man had recently gone missing in this very forest. The moment Ahmad mentioned this story, he knew that this wouldn't be anything like a typical camping video, and for a brief moment, fear took hold. Although the boy was found a few days later, the description of the supernatural forces remained deeply unsettling. It spoke of an otherworldly place, complete with eerie houses and strange inhabitants, some resembling humans, while others bore animal-like features. Adding to the unease were Ahmad's own observations upon reaching the location, which only intensified the chilling atmosphere.
Oke teman-teman, jadi gue baru aja selesai pasang tenda teman-teman, dan ini kondisinya udah gelap. Ini udah menjelang maghrib teman-teman. Mungkin kalau kalian dengar ini ada suara azan dari pemukiman ada di luar, karena gue nggak jauh banget, sekitar ya 1 kiloan aja jalan kaki masuk ke dalam hutan ini. Tuh, ada kedengeran nggak suara azan walaupun cuman kecil teman-teman. Nah,
Ahmad notes that despite being only about 1 kilometer from civilization, the forest feels entirely isolated. This proximity to safety that cannot be reached heightens the tension, especially as odd occurrences begin to unfold. He spent the rest of the evening preparing his meal and savoring it in solitude. Little did he know, the night had something unexpected in store for him, something that would unfold just as he finished cooking and settled in. He reveals that while setting up camp and cooking, he repeatedly heard what sounded like multiple people walking and talking nearby. The sounds were clear and distinct, 2 to 3 people approaching his campsite, having conversations. The unexplained nature of these sounds becomes increasingly troubling as he explains his reactions.
oke teman-teman, jadi sekarang di luar kondisinya hujan lebat banget. Ngeri banget ketika di hutan kayak gini gue sendiri dan hujan. Dan ini badai teman-teman. Kayak anginnya deras banget gitu loh. Gue khawatir aja ada pohon-pohon yang tumbang sih di sekitar sini. Mungkin aku bakalan tidur dulu kali ya, karena aku nggak bisa aktivitas apapun selain di dalam tenda.
A dramatic change in conditions occurs as heavy rain and strong winds create a storm. Ahmad expresses fear about trees potentially falling on his tent, adding physical danger to the supernatural threats already present.
Ini belum reda-reda teman-teman, ini udah jam, kalian bisa lihat. Ini udah deket jam 1 loh teman-teman. Hujannya gak reda-reda, gue dari tadi cuman bisa baring-baring, gak bisa tidur teman-teman. Gue baring-baring, cuman bisa lihat-lihat foto, denger musik. Gak ada jaringan di sini. Ya udah, kayak gini doang. Dan di sini gue ngerasa cukup horror banget men. Hujan-hujan kayak gini gue banyak banget denger kayak fata morgana suara di hutan gitu. Gue denger kayak langkah kaki ngedeketin, kayak apa ya? Kayak tenda gue kayak digoyang.
Ahmad reveals his mounting terror, unable to sleep despite hours of trying. He describes experiencing mirages of sounds, including footsteps approaching and sensations of his tent being shaken. These experiences suggest escalating supernatural activity targeting him directly. And despite taking sleeping pills, he remains awake, suggesting the supernatural energies are powerful enough to override medication. He notes the continuing rain, emphasizing his entrapment in this increasingly terrifying situation.
Yang gue tahu nggak ada hewan rusa di sini. Kalau kita mikir itu hewan yang kawin atau apa, suara rusa yang kawin. Gak ada rusa di sini. Gue merinding loh, sebadanan lo gue merinding dengan suaranya. Ini udah bukan suara hewan hutan. Gue sebelumnya gak pernah dengar hewan kayak gini suaranya. Gue nyium bau gosong banget datang. Ini bau gosong banget parah. Nggak tahu.
He speculates about potential natural explanations, wondering if mating deer could explain some sounds, but immediately dismisses this possibility since deer aren't present in this forest. This elimination of rational explanations leaves only supernatural possibilities. The final, most chilling observation comes as Ahmad reports hearing heavy objects falling multiple times.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
The video ends abruptly with Ahmad saying, "Go away, go away, go away, go away," suggesting an immediate threat or presence that viewers can only imagine. Although Ahmad documented numerous unexplained phenomena, the most disturbing question remains: what entities were present in that forest? The mystery of that night remains unsolved, the footage serving as a warning to others who might venture into that forest alone. Spirits might be unsettling, but the living beings described in the missing man's account, part human, part animal, this is something potentially more dangerous than ordinary ghosts. Fortunately, Ahmad survived his night in the forest, though the psychological impact of such experiences is immeasurable. One thing's for certain. Most viewers would think twice before camping in similar locations, especially alone. That's all for today, folks. If you want to see more of this creepy content, click on the video on screen.